Yeah. To change the picture, we all simply know that we click on this circular part within the image, not the blue container, but this split iris looking thing, those of you that remember SLRs, and you can move the contents. Okay. Do you want to fight to the death?
Just do your pushing of your little thing and it'll fit it for you.
Pushing of your little thing, that is true. In scientific terms.
The icons at the side, the picture on the...
Looks like you're going to be last. Alright, thumbs up. Yes! Bit louder? Oh, yes, it is.
Where did you get the glass done?
I get them made for me. I have an industrial glass blower in my employ. Yeah, they're expensive. That isn't glass though, that's a translucent ceramic. It's called, they make bakery dishes out of it. What's that called?
Pyrex.
Pyrex.
Granny Saloon.
So with this, you can. How do you right click?
Well, there's two ways. You hold down that key or have two fingers.
Okay.
Another key.
Control.
That one, yes.
If you turn off allow document pages to shuffle, you
That's
can
the trick, yeah.
right click. Insert multiple pages into one spread. So that, and then go. There we go. So you can like make out bigger spreads.
Could
Yeah.
you do it again? And
tell us what you're doing as you do it.
So you go into pages and then
people!
you right click and turn off this. It'll have a tick next to it. Allow document pages to shuffle. I already turned it off, so it's alright. And then you leave it in the menu and go insert pages. And then just insert the amount of pages you want. Yeah.
There we have it. You can also, in the same tool, now that that's been set, I can create some pages and I can choose to have it there or... So you notice that there is a change in that I'm adding it to the spine or I'm actually connecting it to the page. See the change in icon? Hopefully so.
So if you were setting up, say, a double page spread, this would be a good technique to use.
Yeah, or well, gatefold, multiple.
Gatefold.
Yeah, so in terms of Chrissy's first publication here. Okay. Nick, lucky last, then we're going to take a break.
Mona, can you do
Oh yeah, and then Mona after the break. Oh yes, and Joy. Thank you for reminding me. You're in your clicking here. You're actually in the master page.
Okay, whoops.
There you go.
Okay. Mine's for when you're making grids with this tool, the rectangle frame tool. Say you want to make a grid split two between the page. I always use this. When you go to the width, you can just divide by a certain amount. So if you just divide by 2, you can edit your frame tool, and it's really useful because then you can split it into thirds or.
Yep.
I think
it allows simple mathematics. All Adobe dialogues allow that. So if you're wondering what a A4 to A0 is, you'll just get the A4 size multiplied.
How do you do the multiply?
Asterisk.
Which one's that?
Shift A.
A?
Shift 8.
Oh, 8. Sorry.
Asterisk.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
And that's really good as a frame for your grid.
Mm. Just one final thing about grids. Let's get rid of that. When you're setting up your master page, layout, yep, that's right. Margins and columns, and previews on. Number of columns. And then when I generate my new pages off the master, the same number of columns in the same position would manifest. Now, who knows how to set our gutter sizes? Just as a quick quiz. How would you do it, Chrissy?
Just change those numbers and all that.
But how would you know the number size? There's a theory behind it. Okay.
The make-up theory.
The make-up theory. Some people argue this, in that once you know what character you're going to be using, let's go for Futura, and it's going to be a bit of a shouty document. Let's make that medium. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get my text tool, and I'm going to create an M. Because from methods in practice, you should know there is a thing called an M space.
An M space.
Yes, it is the width of an M, which is the width of a space between a column. How handy. Let's go to not the eyedropper, but the measure tool. As soon as I pull out the measure tool, and we see that the info panel snaps open, and it's actually giving me the values. So here, it's 8.8 millimeters.
Your line's not straight, but
Yes, it is. It's not perfectly aligned to the bottom, you mean? If I was going to be absolutely correct, I will drag out. Let's just get rid of that tool. I will drag out two guides, so that I'm going. It's just for me, it's under my understanding, it's just a view option. Apple semicolon makes them snap on and off. So I've now set some proper guides, and going from there to exactly there, it is still 8.8 millimeters. Right, let's get rid of all that. That's not needed. So going back to here, layout, margins and columns. That's not wanting to work for me anymore. Fine.
you need to select that.
No, it's a non-selectable item. I'm just going to go to a new
But if
document.
you don't,
What?
Just go back up to layout
Maybe that was my problem.
and do layout adjustment.
There we go. No, it was already there. So I would change this to 8.8, and then that would fit perfectly my size. And also, we're starting to argue, well, the column size is getting with lots of columns. So what I'm going to do is, instead of minimize my number of columns, I'm going to add a couple more.
What's that? One would
Because I'm then giving myself the freedom to realize that I can make my text columns span more than one module. And theory says, within some people's concept of the way the world is flat, that space there is appropriate. Okay. How about we come back after break, and it's you, and then Joy, and then Sue will have something to add to us, hopefully. Yeah. So let's come back. It's 11:30. Let's come back at 11:45, please. Thank you.
Hey, Will,
Yes.
you know when you open a new document and there's those like default grid lines
Yep.
around the outside?
Yep.
Can you adjust those?
You can. Now let's.
Just because when I made my modified grid, they were still kind of there in the background, getting in the way.